Welcome to part 2 of my Taeyeon reaction marathon. If you missed part 1, the link to part 1 is in the description. And in this video, we're going to be covering the songs I, featuring Verbal Jint, Fine, and Four Seasons, which will be a live performance. Before we continue, please like and subscribe. And if you don't know me, my name is Ohak Cade. I'm the composer for the symphonic metal project Valkata. We recently put out a new song called Overload the Reactor. The link is down below. I'd love to hear what you think. And I'm also on Patreon if you would like access to polls and reaction requests. Let's start with this first song, which is I, featuring Verbal Jint.
빛을 쏟는 sky 그 아래선 꿈꾸듯이 fly My life is so beautiful
Yeah 어디서 많이 들어본 이야기 미운 우리와 백조 또 날기 전에 나비 사람들은 몰라 너의 날개를 못봐 네가 많은 세계라는 건 잔인할지도 몰라 But strong girl, you know you were born to fly 네가 흘리는 moon, 네가 느낀 고통은 다 더 높이 날아보는 나를 위한 준비뿐 Butterfly, everybody's gonna see it soon
빛을 쏟는 sky
She looks so angelic. I like that she gets her own verse in this song. Quite a lovely song. Okay, so I would say out of the 4 songs we've checked out so far, I think this one would be my least favorite. It's cute, it has a beautiful melody, it's simple, it's straightforward. It's just not terribly interesting. I'm not really drawn to this kind of music that is so cutesy and inoffensive and flowery, if that makes sense. I'm not opposed to it as long as there is some sort of musical interest to make my ears perk up. The most musical interest I've heard so far is in her second verse, where we do get some nice alterations to the melody. I like how it's sort of almost like a melodic rap. It's not quite as purely rapped as Verbal Jint's part, but it's rap adjacent, you could say. It is more sung, but there is some rhythmic interest there with what she's doing. And I like the ad-lib details too in the background. This harmonized part with his voice is pretty cool too. It's interesting. Their tones are so different, so they complement each other very well. The chorus is nice, but Like, not mind-blowing, not terribly catchy. I love the sound of her voice. She can sing it very well, but this song is a little safe and on the boring side for me, I'm sorry to say. And his rap, it's perfectly fine. But I really feel like I'd have to understand the Korean to appreciate his rhyme schemes. But from what I can tell, perfectly solid rapper. I just don't think this song would be the best one to showcase his abilities because it is so laid back. It's a reasonably easy beat to rap along to. One last positive note, I do like how the overall production style on this song is rather tasteful in that it's not overproduced. Like, there's not a whole lot of auto-tune, at least not a lot of glaring auto-tune. And the sound of the drums is quite warm and organic. It's not heavily digital, right? It sounds like quite an organic song, a warm song, pleasant, just for my own taste, not terribly exciting. Let's continue. Like, I really appreciate those little drum rolls, the little snare rolls. I wonder if this instrumental part is in the studio version. It's quite empty. When I say empty, it's like there's no lead part. I wonder if it was extended just for the music video to give her some good camera shots. I wonder where this was filmed. Kind of looks like Ireland.
꽃잎은 저물고 힘겨웠던 날 작은 빛을 따라서 아득했던 날 저 멀리 보내고 찬란하게 날아가 Beaches on the sky 새로워진 저 멀리로 fly high 난 나만의
Beautiful vocals. If it is Ireland, I know that she was freezing while filming this. Yeah, I mean, she sounds amazing. It's just the melody itself that I don't really care for. Yeah, unfortunately not a whole lot left to say about that one. Not a bad song, but the first three that I heard from her in this marathon were just on a whole other level. Let's check out the lyrics. The lyrics reflect the music well in that they're full of hope and positivity. There's a line about the ugly duckling and the swan, a butterfly before it flies. Encouraging young girls specifically to keep their chin up, despite the difficulties that they might face in life, that they will blossom into a strong and confident woman. That's the impression that I get from this song, is that it is for young girls to give them hope and confidence. And I love that sentiment. We're going to move on to the next song, which is the Fine music video. Let's see.
어제 머리 했어. 색도 좀 바꾸고 어제는 좀 이상하게 시간이 남더라고.
This is also more of an older song.
아니, 지금 내가 너랑 왜 통화하고 있는지도 잘 모르. 알았어. 잘 지내.
찢어진 종이 조각에 담아낸 나의 진심에 선명해져 Something about you yeah. 나를 많이 닮은 듯 다른 넌 혹시 너와 같을까 지금 괜한 기대를 해 하루 한 달 1년쯤 되면 서로 다른 일상을 살아가 나는 아니야 쉽지 않을 것 같아요 여전하게도 넌 내 하루하루를 채우고 아직은 아니야 바보처럼 되뇌는 나 입가에 맴도는 말을 삼킬 수 없어 It's not fine It's not fine 머리를 지금 묶은
Okay, you guys are gonna hate me, but this one is not speaking to me either. Pretty much for the same reasons as I gave of the previous song. It could be my fault for choosing these particular songs. I did my best to pick a variety of different songs for this marathon, but I may have chosen songs that were too similar to each other. But it is possible, really, that that's just her style. She focuses mostly on very approachable, appealing, soft ballads, very inoffensive, safe sounds that are cute and pleasant to the ear, but wouldn't be groundbreaking musically, right? Now, I would say that a song like I Envy You is way more to my taste. It put a personal twist on a style that is quite common. The only personality that I'm hearing in this song and in the last one is more in her vocal delivery, but not so much in the songwriting, if that makes sense. I'm getting the impression that her later material is more expressive, more unique than her early stuff. Like, this is quite the unremarkable ballad, if I'm honest. It might even be more boring than the previous song, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. And it's not a comment on her vocals, it's just the style of the music is just so bland, you know what I'm saying? She looks great, her voice sounds great. I just feel like this voice is worthy of better music, and I also have heard better music in Girls' Generation. Like, one ballad from Girls' Generation that I would say is much more interesting and memorable is a ballad like, oh, what's it called? How Great Is Your Love? That's a really stunning ballad that is leagues above a song like this, and maybe I haven't given this song a chance yet, but I feel like I have a fair idea based on this first verse and chorus, but perhaps I owe it some more time. Let's see how it goes.
It's not fine 머리를 지금 묶은 채 어지러운 밤을 정리해 찾고 있어 something new 가끔 이렇게 감당할 수 없는 뭐라도 해야 할 것만 같은 기분에 괜히 움직이곤 해 하루 한 달 1년 그쯤이면 웃으며 추억할 거라 했지만 나는 아니야 쉽지 않을 것 같아요 여전하게도 넌 내 하루하루를 채우고 아직은 아니야
Like, the chorus is also really repetitive for a ballad. This beat just kind of plods along.
It's not fine. It's not fine. It's not fine. 의미 없는 농담 주고받는 대화 사람들 틈에 난 아무렇지 않아 보여 부딘 척
Great vocals in this bridge. Creative idea in the video to have her break down and for the music to stop. That's neat.
바보처럼 되뇌는 그 말 입가에 맴도는 말을 삼킬 수
impressive ad-libs there towards the end. Like, she is a serious vocalist. Like, that little whistle and everything. Chef's kiss. Just from me, I just wish that the song itself were better so we could get those epic vocals over an amazing melody or a more serious composition than this very safe, forgettable song. I do hate to be so harsh, but I do feel strongly about the fact that she's had 2 lead singles in this era that, in my opinion, aren't worthy of her voice. I guess I ought to respect it if she chose these songs to showcase her solo work, but if I were in the room, I would have tried to persuade her otherwise to see what else was on the table. Let me know if she writes her own music. I guess I'm making the assumption that, you know, it is in the realm of K-pop and often idols will have songs presented to them, right? So there could have been a lot of cooks in the kitchen, a lot of people persuading her to go one way or the other. And it's possible she was going on advice or her own taste as to what songs to go with. But it seems that the later work is much more focused, much more unique than the early work. Let's see what these lyrics are about. Yeah, it's another song about pining for a lost love. And to be quite honest, that sort of song meaning is a little bit generic and broad. It's the kind of go-to commercial song meaning, right? I miss you, I love you. A little bit cliched, and that kind of makes sense considering the genericism of the song itself. And I just saw a Genius annotation, just for argument's sake, right? I saw a Genius annotation from a fan whose theory it is that this could be about Jonghyun. It could be written about him, like mourning his passing. Yes, I guess that is possible. Although I think if that really were the intended meaning of the lyrics, they would be a little bit more specific and not as open to interpretation. And the tone of the music would be a little bit more sorrowful, because it's one thing for this song to have a sort of a bittersweet feeling about missing someone who's left you, right? Or a lost love. I do get that tone from the music just about, but it's a whole other thing to mourn the loss of someone who has passed. And I don't get that tone from this music. If she were to have written about him, then I suspect it would be in a different song than this one. I just saw another comment on Genius that said this song couldn't be about Jonghyun because Jonghyun died December 18th, 2017. And this song was released February 28th, the same year, 2017. Okay, so I really got roped into a pointless fan theory rabbit hole there, but you know, it's fun to think these things through all the same. So my instinct was right, that the tone of the music and the vagueness of the lyrics don't point in the direction of the song being about Jonghyun. Turns out the song couldn't be about Jonghyun, and that is somewhat of a relief to me, as I have some strong opinions, obviously, about this track. Alright, we have one song left. Hopefully this one will appeal to me a bit more. If not, it's all good. It's just a matter of taste at the end of the day. This will be a live performance of the song 4 Seasons. Let's go.
사계절이 와 그리고 또 떠나 내 겨울을 주고 또 여름도 주었던 온 세상이던 널 보낼래.
Definitely off to a good start with this one.
정말 너를 사랑했을까.
Reggae? Alright.
맞아 그땐 한참 서로가 셰익스피어의 연극 같은 마지막이 된 사랑마저 한 듯 둘밖에 안 보였나 봐 다른 걸 좀 보고파 I gave you the world 너만이 전부라 내 겨울을 주고 또 여름도 주었지 뜨겁고 차갑던 그 계절에 정말 너를 사랑했을까
I'm relieved to say that this song is pretty good. See that this song was released a bit later on. That makes sense. It seems like her artistry does develop for the better through the years. Obviously, she sounds great here, but I love the light breeziness of this song. I love the reggae influence. The chorus does lean a little bit more into predictable chord progression territory. Nothing terribly surprising in the direction of the melody, but still I love how the chorus and the verses have a slightly different feeling. You feel quite awake for the duration of the song, and she's really got that stage presence. She looks like she's having a lot of fun. The crowd is loving this. Really great energy all around. Love that organ.
서로를 그리워했고 서로를 지겨워하지 그 긴 낮과 밤들이 내가 녹슬기 전에 우리 다시 반짝이자 계절이 바뀌기 전에 주었지 뜨겁고 차갑던 그 계절에 정말 너를 사랑했을까 내가 너를 사랑했을까
That drummer is killing it.
또 돼 뒤돌아볼 때쯤엔 난 없어 우리께 괜찮았어
I love that dip towards her lower register there just for a moment. That's lovely. Okay. Really fun performance. She was pitch perfect. Really looked like she was enjoying herself on stage. I honestly would love for the song to have developed a little further than it ended up doing. You know, maybe a little key change or something to keep us a little more engaged. But I did like that variation towards her lower register, and that little falsetto moment was really cute too. Overall, much stronger song than the first two that we had in part 2 of this marathon. And yeah, once again, just to remind you, this is part 2. Be sure to check out part 1 of the marathon if you missed it. The link is down below. Let's check out the lyrics for this song. Yeah, once again, sort of the typical thing about missing someone who you used to be in love with. But I guess I appreciate the theme of the song of the 4 seasons. In the summer it goes, I gave you the world because you were my everything. I gave you my winter and summer too. In those hot and cold seasons. Did I even really love you? Yeah, pretty lyrics. Nothing too deep. Sort of in the spirit of the song where it's light-hearted musing on lost love rather than something that is terribly heartbreaking. So that leads me to my final thoughts on Taeyeon's solo material. You cannot deny the voice, the vocal talent. She has such an iconic tone. I recognized it right away from Girls' Generation's stuff. I wouldn't say I've been converted to an absolute stan through this marathon. Her style is very gentle, very easy on the ears, which means that it doesn't reach out and grab me. And it is possible that I simply chose the wrong songs. I thought I was getting a good mix here through the eras, but it seems I've ended up with a selection of varying degrees of gentle balladry when I could be missing out on some hype dance-oriented stuff or some harder beats, which I would love, honestly. I did get a taste of that with INVU, and looking back on this whole marathon, I do believe that is my favorite song of the 6 that I've heard. I wonder if you agree, and having watched this marathon, I would love to hear from you if I should check out a different corner of her discography, if there's some other gems waiting for me that you know I would like. I would definitely be open to hearing about those. So yeah, let me know what you think of each of these songs. Let me know what you thought of my analysis. Again, my name is Oha Kate. I'm the composer for the symphonic metal project Falcata. We just put out a new song called Overload the Reactor. I hope you will check it out and let me know your thoughts. I am on Patreon if you fancy your own reaction requests and polls. And there's also a link down below to my full reaction database spreadsheet if you're curious about all of the other music I've covered on the channel. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Thanks so much and take care.